Good morning students. I welcome you all to the new class in physics. In today's class we will be solving the remaining numerical problems of exercise 5C. If you remember children, in the previous class I had solved 6 numericals for you. Today we are going to solve numerical number 7, 8 and 9. So please sit with your notebooks and your pens ready, and as I solve you will solve with me. Okay children, I am reading out the 7th numerical for you. A wooden block floats in water with 2/3 of its volume submerged. So volume submerged is 2/3. It is given. Okay, it is 2/3. Let the total volume be 1. Let us suppose the total volume is 1, because they haven't mentioned what's the total volume, and the volume submerged or immersed is 2/3. Calculate the density of wood. So you are supposed to find out the density of wood. Okay children, recollect the formula which we used. Volume immersed upon total volume is density of wood upon density of water. This is the formula which we are going to apply in this question. What is the volume immersed? 2/3. What is the total volume? 1 is equal to density of wood. We are supposed to find out. Okay children, and density of water we will take 1 gram per cubic centimeters. Now when I cross multiply, I get density of wood to be equal to 2/3. And if you see, what is 2/3? 0.667 gram per cubic centimeter. If you want to find out the answer in the SI unit, what will I do? 0.667 into 1000. That will give me 667 kg per cubic meter, the value of density in SI unit. Okay children? Now after this we are going to go to the next part of the question. That is, in the next part of the question they have asked you to find out the density. Now in the B part they have said the same block is placed in oil. So when it is placed in oil, 3/4. So now the volume submerged in oil, okay, in oil is 3/4. Now what does 3/4 mean? It means 3/4. Okay, and again we consider the total volume of the body to be 1 as in the previous case. So the total volume is equal to 1. Let the total volume equal to 1. And again, what are we supposed to find out here? Calculate the density of oil. We are supposed to find out the density of oil in this particular question. What am I going to do children? Again I am going to use the same formula. Volume submerged upon total volume is density of wood upon density of oil. Because in this case the wood is immersed in oil. Let me put the values. Volume immersed is 3/4. So that will be 3/4 upon 1 is equal to density of wood, which I found out, 667 upon the density of oil. Okay children, from here whatever density of wood I found out, I substituted here. So what do I get? I get 3/4 is 667 upon the density of oil, and therefore what will be the density of oil? The density of oil will be 667 into 4/3. When I solve this, the answer is 889 kg per cubic meter. So I found out the density of oil for you. This is the question number 7. Please have a look, and then we move on to question number 8. We move on to question number 8. This is question 7. It is in 2 parts. Okay, I am erasing the question 7 first part. Then I will be doing the 8th question, and I want everybody to pay attention please. In the 8th question, the density of ice is given to you. So the density of ice is given to be 0.92 gram per cubic centimeter. The density of ice is given, and sea water. So the density of sea water is also given to you, and that is 1.025 gram per cubic centimeters. Okay children, and you are supposed to find out the total volume of the iceberg. So total volume of the iceberg which floats. So floating, you can say okay, we'll write down total volume which floats, has to be found out. Okay, question mark. Total volume which floats with its volume 800 cubic centimeter above water. Find the total volume of iceberg which floats with its volume 800 cubic centimeter above water. So you are supposed to find out the total volume. You are supposed to find out the total volume of iceberg, right children? And they have told you that 1 minute, find the total volume of the iceberg which floats when its volume is 800 cubic centimeter above water. So volume above water is 800 cubic centimeters. Okay. Now what we will do, we will use the same formula. Volume immersed upon total volume is density of ice upon the density of seawater. Okay children. Now here, let the total, you are supposed to find out the total volume immersed or submerged. Okay. Now we will suppose, we don't know the total volume. Okay. So we only know the volume which is above, and we have to find out the volume which is below. And let us suppose the total volume is say x. Okay. So we say let the total volume of ice be x. So we will take volume immersed will be x minus 800 upon x. I hope you understood this. See how, if I take the total volume as x, find the total volume as x, we know volume immersed will be the total volume minus the volume above. So when I subtract the volume above from the total volume, I will get the volume immersed. So therefore I have written x minus 800 is equal to, what's the density of ice given? 1.025. And what's the density of, the density of ice is 0.92. I'm sorry children. Density of ice is 0.92 upon 1.025. Okay children, just have a look at the values which I have substituted in the formula and try to understand the different values substituted by me. Now let's cross multiply. It will be 1.025 into x minus 800. It will be equal to x 0.92x. I have cross multiplied. When I open the brackets, I want you to solve this. I am leaving the question here because it's a mathematical equation which you can, you will multiply this by this, you will get 1.025x, right? Minus, I want you to multiply 800, I am leaving a dash, is equal to 0.92x. What are you going to do? You are going to, bring this value here and take this value the other side, rearrange, and you will get the value of x. And what will be the value of x? The value of x will be the total volume. And from the total volume, you can find out the volume of the iceberg immersed. How will you find out? Once you get the value of x, you will subtract 800 from it and you will get the value of iceberg immersed. So I am leaving this over here for you children to solve. You will solve the question, this part, and find out the answer. Okay children? Now I have a careful look and then I go to the last question. Now I am going to the 9th question. The 9th question is a slightly long question because it has got many subparts. So I am going to do it for you one after the other, all the parts. The 9th question. In the 9th question, it has been given a weather forecasting plastic balloon. So the volume of the balloon, okay, is given to be 15 cubic meter. And it contains, this balloon is filled with hydrogen. So filled with hydrogen. given to be 0.09 kg per cubic meter, the density of hydrogen. The volume of the equipment is negligible. Okay, so there is a equipment which is hanging below the balloon. You know, a weather balloon records the atmospheric temperature, pressure, etc. So it has an equipment. So the volume of equipment is considered to be almost zero. Negligible means almost zero. And what else is given? The mass of empty balloon. So the mass of empty balloon is given to be, the mass of empty balloon is mentioned as, is given to be 7.15 kg. Okay, so the mass of the empty balloon is given and it is floating, the balloon is floating in air. So the density of air is also given to be 1.3 kg per cubic meter. You can see all the units are in SI unit. And you are supposed to calculate, number one, the mass of, you are supposed to find out the mass of hydrogen in the balloon. Now you can see, children, we know the density of hydrogen, we know the volume, and of course hydrogen is filled in the same balloon. So actually the volume of hydrogen is given to you. The volume is given to you, the density is given to you, you can easily find out the mass. Density is mass per unit volume. Therefore, what will be the mass? It will be density multiplied by volume. Let's see what is the density given, 0.09, and what is the volume, 15. Right, children? When I multiply this, I get 1.35 kg as the mass of hydrogen. Okay, now I come to the second part. It says you are supposed to find the mass of the hydrogen plus balloon. So mass of hydrogen plus balloon. You have already found out the mass of hydrogen, 1.35, and you already know the mass of the balloon here, 7.15. Now when you add the two, you get it as 8.5 kg. Okay, it is easy, it is simple to understand. The third part is total mass of hydrogen, balloon and equipment. So total mass of hydrogen balloon, I refer to as B, capital B, and equipment. Now we have considered the mass of equipment to be negligible. So what we will say? We will say let us suppose that the mass of equipment is X. I have taken it as 0, but you can take it as, so that's the volume, sorry. We are supposed to mass. So let us consider the mass of equipment to be X. So that is going to be hydrogen plus balloon is 8.5. So that will be 8.5 plus X. That will be the third part, kg. Now we move to the fourth part. In the fourth part, they have asked you to find out the mass of air displaced. So mass of air displaced by the balloon. Now in case of finding out the mass of air, we consider the density of air and volume of air. So again I am going to consider density is mass per unit volume. Therefore mass is density into volume. Now what is the density of air given, children? It is 1.3. So that is going to be 1.3, and of course what would be the volume? Again 15, because the balloon remains the same. So that will be 1.3 into 15 is 19.5 kg. So this is my fourth part. And the last part of the question says you are supposed to find the mass of equipment. Mass of equipment by using, they asked you to use the law of flotation. So by the law of flotation. Okay, children. Now here, if you remember, I had considered the mass of equipment to be X. But now if I use the law of flotation, I will take the mass of displaced air, that is 19.5 kg, minus, it would be the total mass of air displaced minus the mass of hydrogen and balloon, that will be 8.5 kg. So when I subtract the two, I get my answer as 11 kg, and that is the mass of the equipment using the law of flotation. So all the 5 parts are here for you children for question number 9. I want you to have a careful look, assess each and every part and try to understand how I have solved them. And with this I finished the numerical problems of exercise 5C. And children, I want you to solve all these numericals in your FAIR registers properly. Try to understand them, practice them, okay? And with this I end 3 complete chapters in physics. That is, I completed chapter 1 with you, that is measurements. Then after that chapter I did pressure in fluids, I did all the numericals for you. And the 5th chapter, that is upthrust in fluids and Archimedes principle, I just finished the numericals. So we have done 3 chapters now. And in the next class, that is which will follow, I am going to take up the new chapter, that is heat and energy with you. Okay children, thank you, and have a look at these numericals and solve all the numericals in your FAIR files. Thank you children.